Good morning. I'd like to call the Highway and Waterways and Building Committee meeting of January 15, 2026 to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Carrico?
Present.
Mr. Marion? Mr. Hess? Ms. Parker? Mr. Featherling? Mr. Dunno? Mr. Miller? Mr. Kirkstra? Ms. Rittman-Agemi? Ms. Amber Turner? Mr. Crutcher? Dr. Nims? Ms. Denise Turner? Mr. Kerner? Mr. Taden? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand? Mr. Long? We do have a quorum.
Thank you. I don't have any public comment in front of me. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comments? Hearing none. Next on the agenda will be the approval of the minutes from December 11, 2025. If you can have a motion and a second. Daniel first. Second, Crutcher. Everybody in favor signify by say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed, same sign. Thank you. I'll have a building and lightings first here on the agenda. Okay, there's not. Next will be the county engineer pay estimates. What I like to see, if you can make a motion and a second to combine, waive the reading and approve. Okay, Featherland, Amber Turner, second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Carrico?
Aye.
Mr. Hess? Aye. Ms. Parker? Aye. Mr. Featherling? Aye. Mr. Dunniel? Aye. Mr. Kirkstra? Aye. Ms. Amber Turner? Aye. Mr. Crutcher? Aye. Ms. Denise Turner? Aye. Mr. Kerner? Aye. Mr. Taden? Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Next will be the resolution. If you could actually read that for the record, please.
Well, it's pretty simple. This is a resolution for maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code. It's where we spend all our money on materials and labor and miscellaneous throughout the year. Like I said, this is a yearly resolution required by IDOT to allow us to spend the money, after which then they require an estimate of maintenance costs, which actually shows us where we spend all the money, and they'll approve that afterwards, after this.
I'm sorry. Motion to approve. Second by Featherland. Any questions or comments on this, on the resolution? Questions? Comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Carrico?
Aye.
Mr. Hess? Aye. Ms. Parker? Aye. Mr. Featherling? Aye. Mr. Dunniel? Mr. Kirkstra? Aye. Ms. Amber Turner? Aye. Mr. Crutcher? Aye. Ms. Denise Turner? Aye. Mr. Kerner? Aye. Mr. Taden? Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the Waterways of the Kankakee County Waterways Advisory Subcommittee update. What I like to do for that one, if you don't mind, is I will have Scott on the back there. If you can give me an update, he's a member of the subcommittee there, and he takes all the notes and everything else. So if you can give us an update there.
Good morning. Thank you. We haven't met since your last meeting, so we've given you those proposals. We'll absorb those at our next meeting in February. As you know, funding is the biggest problem for all of us. So we're still looking for ways that we can make recommendations that will allow mitigation with the lack of funding. And we're just studying the reports and trying to not reinvent the wheel. I know one of the proposals that we had provided last month was kind of mimicking Indiana's plan without money. So we ask for your patience, but any suggestions you may have for the committee or subcommittee to consider, we welcome those. So please be patient as we kind of absorb, trying to figure out kind of what our role is too. The hard part is without funding, it's tough.
Yeah, just speak in the mic a little bit.
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions of our subcommittee?
Any question for Scott? Comments, questions? So when's the next meeting?
The next meeting will be February, that Thursday at
First
8:30.
Thursday of February, 8:30, over here in this level.
Thank you.
Vice Chairman?
So after the meeting, there was a suggestion about monitoring the river and some suggestions of ice flow and stuff like that. So I had a conversation with Ms. Powell, who heads up the ESDA department for the Sheriff's Department. And I forwarded that information to her. And I think at some point in time, we're going to invite her over to explain what's already in place that might help that part of their questioning and planning. So maybe as soon as February, but maybe not till the April meeting, but it has been forwarded.
I think for some of you guys that did not get that or did not come to that subcommittee meeting, I think what the Vice Chairman is referring to is the use of the drones, correct?
The use of the drones, but also the river height monitoring and ice jam monitoring. And there's a lot that goes on there with the National Weather Service. It always has been. They have gauges at moments and downstream and upstream from moments. So there's a little bit more to learn about that, and I'm going to let Ms. Powell tell you all about that and educate us as to what's in place, and maybe we can add on to that.
Questions, comments? No? Okay, thank you. Do we have anything else for us?
I have nothing else.
All right, thank you so much.
Right, thank you.
Have a good day. Next, there will be Mr. Workman for the building. Yeah. Put on record. Good morning. Before the presentation of his report, I need a motion to combine, approve, and put it on record. Okay. Oh my gosh. Parker? Second by? Amber Turner? Everybody in favor, signify by say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Same sign.
Good morning, everybody. Buildings and Ground Committee report for January 15th of 2026. On our facility due report, we had 158 work orders completed for the month of December. 31 of them are currently being addressed. Any questions? The financial report, we're going to make it a little simpler today. I won't go into so much detail. I'm going to talk about the end of the year and then just the beginning of the year. The end of the year for 2025 final budget, the budget set for the year was $1,211,178. The final end budget settled at $1,261,783.69. That is $50,605.60 over budget for the year end, but it's also $310,164.50 less than last year's year end budget, which the total for last year was $1,571,948.18. So I've tried to concentrate. Maybe we just had a real good year on some things, not breaking. But we've been trying to concentrate on all those things we've put together as far as engaging our own guys, getting things done, we buying materials. I think it shows a little bit in that end of year budget. We are currently this year at $114,537.45 comparatively to $226,734.50 at this time last year. So last year, beginning of the year, looks like it was a good hit. We're hoping to stay on track of where we can keep in that same realm as last year. Any questions on that? So we'll go into the building report. Here at 189, there's only a handful of small work orders completed. And then, as you know, we talked about getting the new truck. The new truck was delivered. We got it undercoated. We got the V-plow on it. It is in service at this time. In the annex, I'm still working on the 6 door swipes. They're almost complete. We did put a new 38-gallon electric water heater in. It was due. At the old jail, we're still under the preventive maintenance, continuing to work on that. Out at Jerome Combs Detention Center, we had 3 RTUs that I had to bring outside source in to look at. We couldn't figure it out ourselves. It was more in depth than what I really realized, but they are up and running at this time. And then we are replacing 28 of the old cameras currently. At the public safety building, we're also working on cameras coming up on that building. We're replacing numerous ones that are just outdated. At the courthouse, the last construction meeting was before Christmas. At that time, we had discussed the HVAC issues and resolutions. A small group meeting is planned for Tuesday, January 20th to go over those resolutions and see what we got before we move forward on the next step. There is no other information at this time. Animal control is just various work orders, nothing out of the realm there. Any questions? Do you want to combine those and then I move on to just a little?
Yeah, that's already
Okay.
been combined.
So I want to talk a little bit about the energy usage that we looked into last year and completed. So overall, Kankakee County continues to measure progress in managing the energy consumption and controlling utility-related costs across the county facilities. A year-to-year comparison of energy usage and peak demand shows meaningful reductions at the county facilities where energy improvements were made last year. These reductions in line with the estimates originally provided by ComEd prior to the investments. This is the overview. Here at the 189 East Court Street building, energy consumption decreased by 8.6 for the year. Now remember, we didn't engage in that program till almost April. So that's 8.6% just since then. The peak demand was reduced by 16%. On 1 Stewart Drive, which is the ICANN school, energy consumption declined by 5.4%, and their peak demand dropped 26%. Next door at the SAO building, energy consumption increased by 2.4% and a 19% rise in peak demand. I'm looking into that currently. I just got this report this week, but myself and Eric Cavender went over there to look and see what we can maybe do. I think the lights are on 100% all the time, so we're gonna move the program so that the room's not being used in the back hallways. We'll drop those lights down. I think that's where that's probably coming into play. Any questions on that? And then one last note. We did fill 3 vacancies that we were in dire need of. Those 3 employees, 1 custodian, 1 mechanic 2, and 1 mechanic 1, were start date of January 5th. As I talked about in the past, I was able to get an HVAC person out of KCC. She's doing a fine job so far. This is only her 2nd week of training, but we've got her engaged in learning the systems before we throw her all in on some of these things. But we're working towards trying to save that little bit of cost if we can by engaging ourselves once again. That's all I got for you today. Anything else?
Questions? Comments? No? All right.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Everyone have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Is there any old business come before this committee? Any old business? Any new business? Is there any new business? Any other business? I have one thing before Mr. Hess asked to adjourn the meeting. It's just a reminder and informational only. Tonight, for those that are interested in attending, at 5 o'clock, we have the health department meeting. And if you remember, that was brought up to us for the environmental health fee increase proposal. So that's going to be on the agenda for tonight at the health department for the environmental health for the increase of the fee proposal for the health department there. And the other thing that is also new on the agenda for tonight is the 2026 public health legislative update. So those are the new laws that could maybe could affect the health department operation. So, and that is at 5 o'clock at the health department building. That's what I have. Mr. Hess? Thank you. Second? Okay, Denise Turner. Everybody in favor signify by say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Same sign.